Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power.
But today, we explore the path of the shogun who refuses the comfortable order. You sit beneath fluorescent light and approve what you would condemn in private. The directive arrives polished, legal-looking, and wrapped in executive language. You know who will pay for it. You sign anyway. You call your silence professionalism. But comfort does not erase participation. It only makes participation easier to repeat. And one question will follow us until the end. What are you actually selling every time you approve what you believe is wrong? Tokugawa rule developed councils, senior officials, records, precedents, and formal deliberation. Power became durable because decisions moved through systems. But systems never remove the moral weight of the people inside them. A directive still requires someone willing to carry it forward. That is where the corporate ghost disappears. He hides inside the chain of command. He says the decision came from above. He says refusing would change nothing. The paycheck becomes camouflage for surrender. The first principle is Shuhari. Shuhari is not a documented Tokugawa command protocol. It is a broader Japanese model for learning and mastery. Shu means preserving the form before trying to transcend it. For you, the form is your moral line. Before pressure arrives, decide what you will not approve. Write what money is never allowed to purchase from you. If the line exists only in your feelings, pressure will move it. The frightened employee invents principles during the meeting. The disciplined employee enters with them already defined. Define the line. Ha means breaking from rigid form through deeper understanding. This does not mean breaking your principles. It means examining orders instead of worshiping procedure. Ask who benefits. Ask whether you would defend the decision without corporate vocabulary. The corporate ghost avoids these questions because clarity creates responsibility. Ambiguity gives him somewhere to hide. But once you see the consequence clearly, neutrality disappears. Then Rai becomes relevant. Ri is the stage where mastery no longer depends on visible rules. The principle has become part of the person. You no longer need unanimous support before saying something is wrong. You stop outsourcing conscience to procedure. Shuhari becomes a modern test of moral power. Act without hiding behind the manual. The second principle is Zanshin. In Japanese martial practice, Zanshin describes the condition that remains after action. The arrow leaves, but awareness does not disappear. Your corporation trains the opposite reflex. Approve the document. Move to the next meeting. Forget the consequence. That is how moral drift becomes efficient. You separate action from aftermath. The customer loses money somewhere else. The damaged relationship never reaches your desk. So your conscience receives no feedback. Zanshin forces the consequence back into view. See, after every serious approval, remain with what your decision creates. Follow the result. Study the downstream cost. Look at the person carrying the burden. Do not let organizational distance anesthetize responsibility. A signature is not the end of the action. It is the beginning of the consequence. Own the aftermath. Now comes the shift you would rather avoid. Your employer may not be the real source of your weakness. Fear is. You are not always obeying because the order is powerful. You are obeying because losing comfort frightens you. the predictable deposit. Your cage is padded. That is why you defend it. The third principle is Heijoshin. Heijoshin is the ordinary, steady mind under changing conditions, not emotional numbness. Calm enough to see the situation without panic rewriting your values. Your boss raises an eyebrow. Your pulse rises. Your imagination immediately jumps to unemployment. Then your principles begin negotiating. This is where Heijoshin becomes practical. Slow the reaction. Separate the actual threat from the imagined catastrophe. Ask for the directive in writing. Use legitimate escalation channels when they exist. Refuse what crosses the line you defined before fear arrived. If the environment repeatedly requires betrayal, prepare your exit deliberately. You may not need to resign tomorrow. You do need to stop pretending your signature is morally neutral. Power is not controlling everyone in the room. Power is remaining governable by your principles when the room pressures you. Keep your center. Now the mystery can be answered. What are you selling when you approve what you believe is wrong? You are selling authorship over your own character. The salary is not buying one signature. It is buying your willingness to become the person who signs again. Every compromise teaches the next compromise where the boundary moved. Eventually, the company no longer needs to pressure you. You pressure yourself. You silence the objection before anyone hears it. You become efficient at betraying a person you used to respect. That person is you. The historical lesson is not that shoguns were morally pure. They were not. The lesson is that power always requires a chain of decision. And every chain is made of human links. You are one of them. Your salary does not erase agency. Your fear does not erase agency. Choose what passes through your hands. Choose what stops there. Choose what your name will never authorize. Then let the consequences teach everyone where you stand. Command yourself.
Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.